BBC Radio. That's not how you do an intro. This is an intro.
Rock, paper, scissors.
God damn it, I had to clean the bus and that, right? Okay,
right. Ready? This one for the last chocolates. Ready? Rock, paper, scissors.
Damn it! Right. The person who loses has to get a tattoo on their penis saying, "Get it here." Right.
Ready?
Right.
Rock, paper, scissors.
Oh, for fuck's sake, that is shit!
Well, maybe that wouldn't happen if you choose something besides paper.
Oh, crap.
Yep, that's what you're going to be cleaning tonight.
Well, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to BBC Radio CAD.
Finally got to say that.
Yeah, here live in, where are we? The Wreckin.
The Wreckin. We had a tough time trying to find this place.
Yeah.
Even after we got to Shropshire.
Yeah, even the sign says, I don't know about this. No, I don't know.
The sign basically just went, "Welcome to Shropshire. In 100 yards, you're in Stoke-on-Trent." No news of the Wreckin whatsoever. No. So we sort of had to talk to someone who's quite
ask
around. He's quite a dodgy bloke. He basically, we asked him where's the Wreckin, and he said, "You're not fucking royalty." He shouted it at us.
Yeah.
So I
hit him.
Yeah. We sort of bundled him in the back of our Chevy Camaro, and yeah, I know, classiest car they've ever had there. And we sort of minced him somehow.
Yeah. In a wood chipper.
Of course, and then after that, because of course we have to bring Manfred with us, Yeah,
of course.
So it's a nice bit of food for him. Anyway, folks, welcome to BBC Radio CAD. We're live here from the Wreckin. We finally found the place after. Well, we were supposed to be doing this episode a week after our last episode, but we got lost in Shropshire for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So yeah, but we finally here, folks. There's no crowd, of course, because everyone's too busy down the strip clubs.
Yeah.
With the muttons. We went there for about a few minutes and
no, a few seconds really.
A few seconds. We walked straight out because we didn't know they were all men. Bad times. Yeah. However, Arnold decided to stay.
Yeah.
Anyway, folks, let's begin with the Daily Attack. So first up today is sport. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
Yeah. Okay, we'll start off with the news that Crawley Town nearly so close to defeating Manchester United in the FA Cup. So close. But to be honest, for the first time ever, the most biased newspaper in the world wasn't the Daily Mail. No. Which would obviously go on to say, "Oh, we're going to support Crawley because you see all those foreigners in the Manchester United side going over here, taking our jobs."
Yeah.
Instead it was the Sun newspaper. I wonder why. Let's have a look at this Crawley player. Oh, look, their sponsor's the Sun.
Yep. The
manager of Crawley said that the Sun newspaper will inspire us to winning. What, so you make shoddy headlines and have a Dear Deirdre column right next to the sport?
Doesn't really work out for you, does it?
Legend you are! You did so well. But to be honest, they were so close, they nearly got a draw.
Nearly.
They nearly did. And now we move on to Chelsea.
Oh,
They lost quite badly to a team from the Merseyside. Mainly because their Chelsea's manager, who's your manager these days? He actually doesn't know, folks. To be honest, neither do I. The manager was supposed to be at the match, but of course he couldn't get there because a lot of Everton fans, of course, since they're from Merseyside, decided to nick all the wheels off his car.
Deuce Hiddink, isn't it?
No, he left ages ago. You've had Carlo Ancelotti since then. I don't know who the hell you've got now. Maybe, I don't know, Melbourne and Tijuana, Brops, something like that. And now we move on to more sport. This is old news, but then again,
when is it not old?
Yeah, when is news not old with Radio CAD? We do news that's like, yesterday. Oh no. Diddums, yeah. What a shame. Never mind. So what? The news is old. So is most of our viewers. On to more news. Is that something to do with Sky?
Yeah.
First time I think ever that we've actually talked about Sky.
Yeah.
About Sky Sports. This is really old news, as I said already. But hell, we'll do it again. About of course our good footballing mate of loads and loads of commentary roles on football games, on games consoles, Andy Gray. It's a pleasure to be here, John. That's what he'd normally say, But of course, he made some sort of sexist remark to a female linesman, and he's recently got sacked.
To be honest, he shouldn't have just said that. He's still on the mic.
No. There's a difference though, right? It wasn't on air.
Wasn't it?
It was just like this Jonathan Ross, Russell Brand thing we had ages ago. It wasn't on the air, and you sat on a pair of scissors. It's a game of 22 people, 44 boots, but only one ball. Bit like Hitler. Anyway, as we were saying, before we got on to talking about Adolf Hitler, to be honest, we should talk about Hitler more often.
Should we?
Well, it's time to forget about World War II, so let's talk about Hitler.
Alright.
In World War One, of course, where he was a valiant soldier.
Really? I thought he was a postman.
No, that was Hitler's dad. No, Hitler was a soldier in World War One and got injured. Injured during combat. That's probably...
He shot himself in the foot like everybody does.
I don't think he shot himself in the foot. I think maybe an Englishman decided to rip out one of his with his bayonet. That might be the specific reason.
It's like my great-great-great-great-great-granddad. He fought in the war. And
he just chainsawed everyone!
No, someone shot his tongue off. He never said about it. Never talked about it.
It was Manfred. Cat got your tongue. Terrible. Yes, I know. Terrible. Bit like Hitler in the war.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll end this about Hitler and go back to what we were doing before. What were we doing before? We were here.
Yeah.
So we were! Yay! Yay! Anyway, we move on to, back to this, is that basically it was Andy Gray and Richard Keys who were both doing this sort of thing. Andy Gray got sacked and Richard Keys decided to resign. So, very similar to the
Russell Brand and
to the Brandon Ross thing, which occurred quite a while ago. That wasn't on air either. Well, that was on air, but that wasn't live on air. So, to be honest, as I said earlier to the Brandon Ross thing, it shouldn't have been put on air in the first place. I mean.
Anyway, you learnt your lesson.
What people do in their lives, or what people say, right? As long as it's not posted on air, it should be kept a secret. And that was there's no way they should have put it on there. So the only person who should have got sacked should have been the editor, who failed to edit that out.
Yeah. Like
the prat that he is. We've got quite a good editor here on Radio CAD. Like for example, there was a time where up his anus. Anyway.
Lovely.
Yeah, I know. Did you get all that? Oh, well done to the editor there. Brilliantly played. How did you able to condense that 3-hour conversation down to 5 seconds of bleeping? That was brilliant. You're getting your wages tonight, 3p. Anyway, move on now. We've done that.
Bonus.
Yeah, a bonus. Yeah, it's more than we get. Hell, what do we get now since Aaron spent most of our money on the bleeding Kaiser Chiefs?
I'm sorry.
God, do you know that I've had to live on Bovril for the last 5 years?
Bovril?
Yeah, it's like a man's drink. But I've had to live off that for years while you've been partying it up. You and your golden chainsaw, just because you've been able to chop little bits off it and sell it at cash converters. Anyway, moving on to more news. We done one of these last year about movies. What I thought we'd do one this year? Shitty movies.
Last Avatar, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was Avatar. We also done about other stuff. But this time round, to be honest, the movies have not been as good.
No.
Yogi Bear 3D is coming out soon. It's more than Yogi Bear. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. It's not good, to be perfectly honest. I recommend don't watch it. And as for Justin Bieber's Never Say Never...
Ah, here we go.
How the hell did he do that?
I know a mate of
We
mine.
killed him! We killed him in the earlier episode. How has he come back? I think he made it out that door, which you decided to destroy with tracer fire.
That's a very good point.
If we'd solidified the door, we would have got him!
Yeah.
But now, he has escaped. How do we know...
And he's making a movie!
How do we know the rest of them haven't escaped either? Louis Walsh might have escaped, him and his dyed hair.
Was there anybody we killed?
I know! We saw a little bit of ash on the floor. We didn't know whose that was.
No.
Thanks to your bomb. See, I told you we should have gone for a megaton.
I know, I'm sorry.
If we went for a megaton, we would have seen a lot of blood, and we probably would have been able to determine whose it was. We might be able to see some charred corpses, but no! You decided to go for, let's go for a nuke. Let's go for a nuke just so we can bling well see ash on the floor. Honestly, Justin Bieber, does it look like that Pete Doherty has just decided to turn up? Pete Doherty just decided to turn up for like 10 seconds, then walk off. Because that's what it looked like. There was like loads of ash on the floor. You know, we had no idea which ones I didn't see that much ash in the first place. Either that was a very strong nuke, or we only killed like Wagner and that was it.
Yeah.
But anyway, enough of that. We move back on to Justin Bieber's new movie called Never Say Never. Well, that's a screwed up because you've just said it twice in the intro, you douche. And when it comes to Justin Bieber, basically it's the movie about Justin Bieber's his goal to
be the best.
No.
To be as gay as possible.
No.
To see if anybody hates him as much as possible.
No. It's much more important than that. Much more in depth.
Right.
It's his life from being a high-voiced little kid to a high-voiced teenager. That's it.
So basically, it's just a documentary of his life.
Yes.
And it hasn't even really started yet for him.
Exactly.
So once his bollocks drop, he's not really going to be famous anymore.
Exactly. I would love it if he tries to sing like Baby or something. He just goes, just starts talking like Carlton does the impression of Clavfrag or something. You are smart and handsome. Hey, thank you, Clavfrag. I think I am. Honestly,
I know a mate of mine that there's that cutout of Justin Bieber. When they put in the movies. I remember him touring it up and then chucking it at the cinema manager. It was brilliant.
Brilliant,
See, this is not just, petty hatred. This is pure hatred.
Yes, hatred in its purest form. You take the hatred that... You take the hatred that the students currently have for Nick Clegg and times it type high. Right? That's about a quarter of how much some people, like your mate, hates Justin Bieber. And hopefully...
Seriously, he's like a, downhill from Satan and Judas. There's Justin Bieber at the third level.
Yeah, you sort of go like, you got
the devil.
You got heaven. You got heaven up here. You got God and stuff like that. Then you got that weird little place where you stay. Then there's earth.
Yeah.
And then there's hell. And then there's Justin Bieber just below hell.
Yeah.
Just below her, because you got hell, and you got Satan just going, ha! Yes, I poke you with a trident. I poke you with a trident, and you get slightly warm. And there's loads of leather whipping in restraints. Obviously, I'm on for that. But as for Justin Bieber, you have to listen to his songs all the time. Honestly, for the prison officers, right? People in prisons, instead of listening to Phil Collins, why don't they just have every person in the entire, you know where I'm going with this, don't you?
Yeah.
Everyone listen to Justin Bieber non-stop, right? Trust me, they'll never want to do anything again. Instead of overcrowded prison cells, just stick Justin Bieber on a hi-fi or something, right?
Turn it up on full blast.
Turn it up full blast and wait for everyone's ears to blow. They'll either be less criminal, there'll be less criminals anyway, because either less criminals want to do crimes, or there'll be more suicides.
Or there'll be very, very die-hard Justin Bieber fans.
No, they'll be killed as well.
Yeah.
If they start dancing to Baby, right, everyone else will just kill them, and I think the prison officers will join.
Yeah, don't drop the soap.
Don't drop the soap. Also, don't listen to Justin Bieber. If you do both, you're near enough someone's bitch. But anyway, now we move on to good movies. Paul. This is the legendary little,
little alien sort.
Yeah, this 1.5 foot alien. To be honest, but he's not like one of these, not like E.T. E.T., that was bit annoying. Bit annoying because, it ended badly.
He was small and he doesn't really do much.
Bit like Paul, really. No, but the difference between E.T. and Paul is that
Paul is a parody, isn't it?
Paul's funny. Paul's funny, E.T. isn't. What would you rather see? Look at me, I'm getting down. Ooh, Marmite. Or would you rather see, I'll be right here, with a little glow on his finger? Do you know that Steven Spielberg is still plugging E.T.?
Really?
Every so often he'll turn up with an E.T. hat. It's like, yeah, it's been out for 20 years now. If we haven't seen it, if we haven't seen it yet, we're not going to see it. I haven't seen E.T.
I have. It's crap.
Yeah. And everyone says, apparently according to Channel 4, it's the best film of all time. I don't think so. Yeah, I think, to be honest, that's the new BBC Radio CAD movie coming out. Remember we said earlier, last year or so, we said, are we ever going to make a movie? And we said no. Well, we lied. We lied! Well, basically, it's called BBC Radio CAD. We kill stuff. And trust me, it's a hell of a lot better than Beavers Never Say Never. Because, well, it has some in-depth footage of us actually killing people.
Yeah.
You look like Gary Lineker and I look like Bungle. Great. Still good, though. I'd say go watch it. In your dreams. Anyway, and now on to serious news. Trust me,
Devastation.
Absolutely devastating, right? We didn't do anything about the Chilean miners
Destruction.
earlier. You know, just destruction, devastation, and Justin Bieber's career.
Yeah.
And now we move on to, well, honestly, like, we're not going to make jokes about this because, well, you know, that's a bit sad. We don't make jokes about devastations. The problem is that the Earth has decided to basically say there's too many people. There's people in like New Zealand or something. I'm having you. That's near enough what the Earth is deciding to say. Is that there's been some earthquakes in New Zealand. There's been floods as well in Australia. And
Yeah, in England as well, near the Cornwall.
yeah, but not as bad as like Australian floods. And to be honest, you know, we did have like a soundtrack of like the people in Australia, just like because we had them on talk to see how they were doing. But all you could hear in the background was some water ate my baby. But this New Zealand earthquake, you know, and honestly, you know, what can we do? What in the world has the New Zealand earthquake got to do with us, really?
Yeah.
Well, David Cameron has decided to say, yeah, basically what David Cameron has said is he said that England or Great Britain is fully ready to help New Zealand out at any occasion, which obviously means we're going to take the brunt of it.
Yep.
Basically, next time we get our taxes in, we'll see that thing saying New Zealand earthquake tax, £700 a month. Basically, what David Cameron's saying is basically, yep, we'll help out. We'll put a tax on our on the community, and see if we can make it out of that, peasants.
Here's just something I gotta say. No.
Here's something I've got to say as well. We only earn 2p a year. How the hell can we sign it? Us personally.
Yeah, we should get benefits.
Yeah, we do get benefits. 1p a year.
Great.
The recession is so bad. David Cameron thinks that we are like the lowest of the low peasants, while our radio show is going to get more views than Web Cameron. Because to be honest, what would you rather see, folks, right? Comment on this or whatever you want, right? What would you rather see? Two delinquent duos decide to make an entertaining radio show lasting about 20 to half an hour.
Yeah.
20 minutes to half an hour. Or would you rather see some weirdo with an airbrushed face deciding to let his butler do the dishes for an hour? Simple choice, really. I'd rather see the butler. And on to more news. Mexicans, we hate you.
Do we?
Yes.
Why?
Well, just look at what they've given us, okay? Right, just look at what they've given us. Swine flu, sombreros, you know, an Alberto Del Rio. Yeah, and now they have a go at Top Gear? No way. Sorry,
No.
not happening.
No.
Because to be honest, I think the next Mexican car will be the tortilla. Because to be honest, they'll make one out of a tortilla roll. While they're in their ponchos and and sombreros and hats and stuff like that. Is it just me?
Is Mexicans separated from America? Is that what they're trying to keep out?
They're trying to basically say, yeah, we're going to get away from America, yeah. We're going to get away from America, yeah. Many pesos for you. But basically the problem is Top Gear done a thing in their thing called The News. Of course, you must watch it. It's brilliant. And we're certainly 100% defending Top Gear here. They've been through some tough times. Their Stig, Ben Collins, decided to join Fifth Gear, which is the worst mistake he's ever made.
Yep.
Even worse than printing out a book that no one will actually buy. Yes, we don't care if you're the Stig. I'm not buying your book. So stop calling me. Honestly, I get a call like every day from him just saying, please buy my book. It's like, no! I don't want to buy your book. You may look like Michael Schumacher, but you can't drive like him. Stop it. So, just on this show, Ben Collins, stop calling me. Thank you. Anyway, let me move back on the Top Gear and these Mexicans crap.
Yeah.
Right. The Mexicans basically have had a go at Top Gear for saying about a new Mexican car. To be honest, Mexicans don't really make many cars. Is there anything that the Mexicans has actually given us that's good?
Doritos.
Isn't that an American creation?
No, Mexican creation, but it was funded in America.
There you go. It's funded by the Americans. It's something the Mexicans done alone.
No, not masturbation.
No, it's not. I wasn't going to say that. So what do you think then? Something they've made?
Chili?
No, that was made by Chile.
Chili was made in Chile?
Why is it called Chile?
I don't know. Maybe it was just some sort of...
Well, no, it must have come from Chile. Because, to be honest, why... it has to be named after the country. It was made in the country, named after the country. Because why would you have something that tastes really hot, named after something that's really, actually, very cold? Chili. Oh, I'm really cold. Oh, no.
Maybe because they, when they ate it, it just put their body temperature up a bit.
So why do they call it boggling?
Fair point.
Yeah, so, that's obvious. That came from Chile.
Yeah.
Chile came from the South American country Chile. So, is there anything they've done that's good? I don't think so. No. So they think that they can have a go at Britain, the place that's given so many great things. Top Gear, that's given so many great things. Amphibious cars,
Joyous humour,
supercars on telly.
Girls with obsession with Richard Hammond.
Yeah, and then you got the block of flats on a Citroen, and James May. All these brilliant things. What have the Mexicans done? Three people, fourth if you count the new stick.
Yeah.
Right? But 4 people, right?
What colour is he now?
Still white.
4
4 people who deliver humour, supercars and entertainment for an entire hour every week. Going up against an entire country which has given us nothing but crap. Is it just me, or should we just nuke the Mexicans? Really, to be honest, if we want Mexicans, we'll go to Spain. Because to be honest, the Mexicans have just copied Spain.
Have they?
But Spain they're just so much better.
Spain's closer.
Yeah, Spain's closer, better football,
cheaper booze,
football, good football team,
good looking women,
yeah, good looking women, blazing hot sunshine, tanning.
nice beaches, good food,
brilliant food, brilliant, not very a car-y country.
No.
I don't know any Spanish cars, but to be honest, that's the same as the Mexicans.
At least Spain offers something to us.
Spain offers good stuff to us.
It gives us what we need.
It gives us what we think. It gives us what we need. Unlike Mexicans, no. And now to our final bit of news. Victoria Beckham's pregnant again.
Yeah, oh crap.
This is going to be her 4th kid. Is it just me, or is the only thing big on her Manfred area?
So what's it going to be called then?
Well, they're thinking of 2 actually.
Just a child, not
the child. They're thinking of either calling him, if it's a boy, call it David. That's good. Yeah. Or if it's a girl, call her the backseat of a Bentley. Well, it could work. You never know. But according to Victoria Beckham, it's a girl. So I'd love that in like 5 years' time when we come to that the registry. Tom, yes. Johnny, yes. Sarah, yes. Backseat of a Bentley, yes. That'd be brilliant. That would be absolutely brilliant. But then again, what a way to end the show. Funny jokes, brilliant.
Just us.
Brilliant, funny jokes, a lot of dissing. Brilliant show. Oh look, it's Arnold.
Oh,
he's come back.
Great.
Hey Arnold, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing okay, but I've got male thong.
You had someone's thong on your shoulder.
To be honest, with these shoulders, you could have many. Now, I'm going to the next place where we're going to go in my Humvee. See you later.
Yeah, bye Arnold. Anyway.
Actually, the hatred from him and me, seriously just grows.
Anyway, folks, we'll see you for whatever will be next. And from that last comment, we better not be in Los Angeles. If we are, then we're going to something. David Beckham's going to kick our ass. Anyway, we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Next week, Chris and I will be live in
Los Angeles. Come on, we all know.
Mexico.
Oh no. No, you're joking.
I forgot about them.
No.
Well, better get the sombrero and ponchos.